Have you ever looked into his eyes and felt that quiet ache, the one where you're giving everything but still wondering if he feels it the same way? You laugh, you show up, you care, but deep down you keep asking yourself, what makes a man stay? What makes him choose you, not just today, but every day after? It's not beauty, not charm, not effort. It's something deeper, something unspoken. Because once you trigger this one emotion in him, the one that makes him feel like his soul is seen, not just his image, he will never be able to walk away from you. And the truth is, most women don't even know what that emotion is. You don't stay where you're simply wanted, you stay where you feel safe to be fully seen. That's the difference, and that is your power. This isn't about chasing, fixing, or proving. No, this is about shifting the energy so deeply, so subtly, that the way he looks at you changes forever. When a woman stops trying to be understood and instead starts understanding herself, her silence, her grace, her emotional presence, it triggers something in him, something ancient, something sacred. That's when she becomes unforgettable. Imagine this: a fire doesn't beg someone to come close. It burns steadily, powerfully. The kind of fire that gives warmth but doesn't burn itself out to prove its heat. That is who you are becoming. The moment you stop trying to convince him is the moment he starts feeling the pull. Because here's what he will never admit out loud. What hooks him isn't the loud, constant need for reassurance. It's the calm, quiet knowing that you're not afraid to walk away if you're not being valued. That confidence, that's the emotion he feels in his chest long after you've left the room. That's the moment he realizes you're not like the rest. And now, lovely woman, it's time to stop asking why he hasn't stayed. It's time to stop wondering what she has that you don't. Because once you master this shift, once you start living from your soft power, your emotional strength, your sacred worth, he won't just notice, he won't leave. You're not broken, you're just stepping into your throne. Now, let's show you exactly how a queen is remembered. If this message touched something deep inside you, if it reminded you of your worth, your power, and the kind of love you deserve, then take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, working with heart and purpose, creating these life-changing lessons just for you. Because every queen deserves to be reminded that she was never meant to chase, she was meant to reign. Number 1. You become the calm in his chaos, and that's what makes you irreplaceable. Have you ever seen a man breathe differently when he's around a woman who brings peace into his world? Not noise, not pressure, just calm. The kind of calm that doesn't scream for attention, but commands it without a single word. The truth is, when you become the calm in his chaos, you don't just stay in his heart. You become part of his healing. And once a man feels that kind of peace, he won't walk away. Because peace like that, it can't be replaced. She didn't fix his storm. She became the silence that made him want to fix it himself. That's the emotion he never forgets. And that is the part of you that makes you unforgettable. You see, he may act strong out there. He may carry the weight of the world, smile when he's breaking, lead like he's fearless. But inside, he's looking for a place where he can drop the mask, where he doesn't have to perform, where he doesn't feel judged, rushed, or pulled in a million directions. That place is you when you stop trying to prove your worth and start walking in it. Imagine being the ocean, not because you're loud, but because you're deep. A man doesn't need a storm to feel alive. He needs a harbor. And when you create that kind of energy, where he feels safe, seen, and not small, you've triggered the very emotion that anchors him to you. Not obsession, not control, but safety. And safety is the new kind of sexy. He will be drawn to you, not because you chased him, but because you didn't need to. He will stay, not because you begged, but because your presence heals what the world keeps wounding. That's the kind of woman a man doesn't risk losing. That's the kind of woman who becomes his peace when everything else feels like war. Lovely woman, this isn't about playing it cool. This is about living as a calm force that holds power without raising her voice. This is about stepping into your softness without losing your strength. This is about knowing that when a woman becomes the calm in his chaos, she becomes the silence that echoes forever in his mind. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I am the calm he'll never forget. If this spoke to your soul, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working hard to bring you powerful, heart-shifting lessons because you were never meant to beg for love. You were meant to be the love that changes everything. Number 2, he'll stay when he feels seen beyond his strength and loved through his flaws. Have you ever looked at him and wondered, why does he pull away even when you give him everything? You show up with loyalty, patience, support, but something still keeps him distant. He smiles, but it's guarded. He's with you, but something in him holds back. And it's not because you're doing too little, it's because you're doing too much without ever touching the one place that makes a man stay. The place that very few women ever reach. His inner vulnerability, the part of him that craves to be seen beyond the image and loved even through the flaws. A man is most loyal, not where he is most admired, but where he is most understood. That's the emotion that makes him stay, not lust, not praise, not even effort, but that quiet moment when he realizes, she sees me. Even when I'm weak, even when I mess up, she still sees something in me I've forgotten myself. Imagine his heart like an old house. Everyone wants to sit in the clean rooms, take pictures in the polished corners. But you walk into the parts covered in dust and you don't flinch. You clean it, you light a candle, you stay. That's what he remembers forever. Because every man is terrified of being unlovable once his armor cracks. And when you don't run, that's when he clings to you without even knowing why. And here's where it gets real. He may not say thank you, he may not show it right away, but he will never forget the woman who didn't flinch at his mess. That emotion, the freedom to be fully himself and still feel loved, is what ties his soul to yours in a way no other woman can. Dear woman, your power isn't in how hard you love him, it's in how deeply you understand him. Stop trying to impress him. Start allowing him to feel safe in your presence. That's how you stop being a chapter and become the story he keeps rereading in every moment of silence. Write this in the comments and claim it. He stays where he feels seen and safe. We are working with heart to bring you the lessons that shift everything, because a woman who knows her emotional power never has to beg to be kept. Number 3. You stop trying to impress him and start inspiring him. Have you ever noticed how exhausting it is to always try to be perfect in front of him, to carefully choose your words, adjust your tone, dress a certain way, hold your breath, just hoping he sees you, values you, chooses you? It's like walking on glass, wearing a smile that hides the storm inside. But here's what no one tells you. The moment you stop trying to impress him and start inspiring him just by being yourself, everything changes. That's the shift. That's the emotion that sticks to his soul. Because the truth is, he's not looking for perfection. He may think he wants pretty or easy or quiet, but deep down, what keeps him isn't surface, it's substance. It's not the woman who bends to fit into his world, it's the woman who owns her own. And when you stop performing and start living, when your presence makes him pause and think, I need to become better just to stand beside her, he won't leave. He can't. Because you sparked something in him that no one else ever touched. When a woman lives her truth, she doesn't need to speak it. He feels it in her silence. Think of a mountain. It doesn't try to be beautiful. It just stands. And yet people travel the world just to witness it. That's you. That's what happens when you stop trying to impress and start standing firm in who you are. You stop shrinking to be chosen. You stop molding yourself into who you think he wants. You stop seeking his validation like it's the prize. You become the prize. And once he feels inspired, challenged, not by your demands, but by your presence, he'll never want to leave. Now, lovely woman, this is where everything shifts. You are not the echo of someone else's approval. You are the voice that moves the room. And from this moment on, you are done performing. You're here to lead, to rise, to inspire, not just him, but yourself first. Write this in the comments and claim it. I don't impress, I inspire. Queens, let that be your reminder. You're not here to be picked like a flower. You are the entire garden. We're working day and night to bring you truth, strength, and lessons that help you rise as the queen you were always meant to be. Number 4. You trigger the fear of losing a once-in-a-lifetime soul. Have you ever looked at him and felt like he didn't see it yet, didn't see what he really had in front of him? You gave your all. You stayed when others would have walked. You saw him, not just for who he was, but for who he could become. And still, he acted like you were easy to walk away from. But what he doesn't realize now, he will feel later, deeply. Because once a woman triggers that one emotion in a man, the fear of losing something he will never find again, he changes. That fear, that's when the shift begins. Some people only recognize value when it's gone, but the wise ones, they fear losing it before it ever slips away. And the moment he senses that you are not waiting, that you could walk, that you won't stay where your worth isn't honored, that is when the panic sets in. Quiet, creeping, real. That is when the emotion that keeps him up at night kicks in, the fear of losing a once-in-a-lifetime soul. Imagine holding a rare diamond in your hand. You assume it will always be there. You place it on the table, forget it for a while, get distracted by something shiny. But when you return and it's gone, that panic, that ache in the chest, that's what he feels when you stop showing up the same way. When your warmth cools, when your energy pulls back. It doesn't happen in the loud fights. It happens in the stillness, when he realizes your presence was never guaranteed, and he never thought you'd really leave. You are not just another woman, and it's time he feels that. He can date 10 others, talk to 20 more, but he will not be able to replace the peace you gave, the loyalty you offered, the strength you carried in your silence. Lovely woman, your worth is not up for debate. And once you trigger this emotion in him, he'll never be the same, because you'll no longer be chasing, you'll be rising. And rising women are unforgettable. Affirmation: I am the one he'll never find again. Queens, drop this in the comments if you're done being an option and ready to become the one he fears losing. And if this message reminded you of your power, your beauty, your value, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working every single day to create lessons that awaken the queen in you, because your throne has waited long enough. Number 5. You quietly become his mirror, and that terrifies and awakens him. Have you ever looked at him and noticed something shift, something quiet, something subtle but undeniable? The way he pauses mid-sentence, the way he looks at you a little longer, the way he pulls back, not because he's losing interest, but because he's seeing himself, maybe for the very first time. That's not confusion, beautiful. It's awakening. You didn't shout, you didn't chase, you didn't force anything. You simply held up a mirror with your presence, and suddenly he saw the truth. Some people come into your life not to complete you, but to reflect you. That is the kind of woman you're becoming. Not the one who begs to be noticed, but the one who makes him notice himself. When you become his mirror, it does something no surface-level attraction can. It shows him who he is, his strength, yes, but also his fears, his wounds, his walls, and that reflection. That's powerful. That's the emotion he can't shake. Because you don't just flatter his ego, you trigger his soul. And the moment he sees that, he won't be able to unsee it. You become unforgettable, not because you begged for space, but because you held space. Quietly, steadily, boldly. Imagine standing in front of a lake, still, calm, clear. You can't lie to a lake, you can't hide from it, and that's what it feels like to him when he looks at you, raw, exposed, real. You don't need to ask him to be honest. Your energy already demands it. And when a man feels seen without being judged, he stays, not because you begged him to, but because something in you reflects everything he didn't know he needed. Now listen closely. This is not about fixing him. This is not about becoming what he wants. This is about becoming so deeply in tune with yourself that your very presence makes him realize he was sleepwalking through life until you walked in. So to the woman reading this, you are not ordinary, you are not replaceable, you are not chasing, you are reflecting, and that reflection, that is the emotion he can't escape. Write this in the comments and claim it. I reflect truth. He'll never forget me. Queens, let the world know you are done proving, done begging. You are becoming the mirror he never knew he needed, but will never stop feeling. We are here, working hard to create lessons that awaken the queen in you, because you weren't born to chase. You were born to reign. Number 6. You leave gaps for him to fill, and that makes him want to show up. Have you ever wondered why he pulls away just when you start giving him everything? Why he seems to drift when you're doing your best to be present, loyal, loving? Here's a truth most never speak out loud. Sometimes doing too much makes him do less. When you overgive, over-explain, over-love, you leave no space for him to show up. And the emotion that keeps him, it's not dependency, it's purpose. When a man feels like he has a place in your life, he has to earn, he rises. And when you stop filling in every gap, he starts stepping in to fill them himself. A man values most what he works to keep. That's the quiet secret behind his devotion. It's not just about being loved, it's about being needed, being useful, being important in your world. And when you stop carrying the whole relationship on your back and start letting him carry the weight too, you shift the entire dynamic. Think of a beautifully set table. If you place every item, fill every space, serve every course, the guest becomes passive. But when you leave room, when you let him bring the missing piece, he feels involved. He feels proud. And that pride turns into presence. You don't have to build the entire empire alone, lovely woman. You only need to know your worth and leave space for the one who is willing to rise beside you. He will never stay where he feels unnecessary. He will never invest where there's no challenge. And he will never treasure what costs him nothing. So stop over-delivering. Stop proving. Stop doing it all. Let him feel the gap. Let him wonder, does she need me, or will she rise with or without me? Because that question, that's what makes him show up. That's what makes him stay. Dear woman, this is not about pulling away out of fear. This is about creating space out of power. This is about learning to lean back in grace instead of reaching forward in desperation. You are not chasing. You are not begging. You are becoming the woman who inspires movement without a single word. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I leave space and he shows up. Let the world know you are done overextending, done doing it all, done chasing validation. You are now operating from presence, not pressure. We are here, working with love and truth to create life-changing lessons for women who are ready to reign. Number 7. He remembers the silence. You gave more than the words you spoke. Have you ever noticed how the loudest moment in love isn't a fight or a goodbye? It's the silence that follows. Not the silence where words are waiting, but the kind where you stop showing up, stop calling, stop explaining. He may not admit it, but the moment you went quiet, that was the moment he truly heard you. Because you didn't need to scream, you didn't need to beg. Your silence said everything, and he'll remember that longer than anything you ever said. The most haunting sound is the one that's no longer there. When a woman pulls her energy back, when she stops trying to be understood and simply disappears from the noise, it creates a space that no words could ever fill. That space, it echoes inside him. He'll sit with his new reality, your absence, and slowly he'll start to notice that her voice doesn't calm him the way yours did. Her presence doesn't anchor him, her words don't heal. But your silence, it lingers, it stays, it stings. Imagine a favorite song that once played every day. At first it becomes background noise, familiar, comfortable, but the day it stops playing is the day you realize how much it meant. That's what your silence becomes. The soundtrack he took for granted, gone, and now he's left searching for it in every voice, every moment, but it won't return. He thought you'd always be there. He thought he could walk away and you'd still be waiting with open arms. But you didn't wait. You walked, not with noise, but with grace. And that quiet goodbye, that's the emotion he will never unfeel. That is what makes him realize you are not replaceable. And now, beautiful woman, it's time to shift. This is no longer about what you lost. This is about what you're becoming. You are not here to explain your value. You are here to embody it. You don't need to fill the silence. Let the silence speak for you. Because the woman who masters her silence is the woman no man forgets. Write this in the comments and claim it. My silence speaks louder than his memory. Let the world know you've stepped into your power. Queens, if this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of your voice, the one that doesn't need sound, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. We are working with purpose to create lessons that help you rise in love, in power, and in truth. Because your silence is your empire.